All right. Recently, sorry, recently there's been a lot of talk about changing the judging in MMA scoring. You know, this I remember hearing it. It was a huge topic of conversation when George St. Pierre fought Johnny Hendricks. Um, all I'm hearing though is pretty much griping and ideas that would never ever work. Um, Look, people are flawed. You're going to get all these crazy ideas on how to change it or what would be better than what we have now. Um, is there something better? Maybe. But people make mistakes. I would probably be an okay judge. But I have to admit, I'm a human. I've trained in certain styles and with certain fighters and with people and other trainers, and I might be biased. I might completely go with the Sambo guy because I did Sambo. I might completely go with a guy whose jiu-jitsu is phenomenal and I saw what he was trying to do, and I'm a jiu-jitsu guy. I've done stand-up, I've done, a lot of things, but I'm, I'm a human. I'm just admitting that I'm not perfect and I might make mistakes too. I might not. But somebody I know a lot of MMA guys, and if I knew them, would that sway me? It might. What if it's really close? Would it sway me? Come on, let's be fair. Um, the open scoring though is ridiculous. Do you know how many problems there are with that? Let's say people say, I've heard over and over again, the guy's up 2 rounds to none going into the third round, final round. So he just coasts. So you've got this boring fight. Um, I agree, totally agree. Somebody saying Joe Rogan said something about it being the fourth and fifth round, I feel like you're winning. If you win those fights, they're like mean more than the early. No, they all mean the same. In the scoring, if it's going to be cut into rounds, then they have to all mean the same. Or make it a 25-minute fight for a title fight with no rounds, and then score the fight as a whole. But if it's rounds, this is going to happen. All right, let's talk about open scoring in another way. What if you go out and the guy goes out like Reyes in this John Jones fight, and the first round, I haven't seen anybody say he lost the first round. Let's say at the end of the first round, though, 2 judges did give that first round to John Jones. Then where's his mindset? He's trained for this fight for a long time, and he's going to say, what am I doing here? This is ridiculous. I won that round. I did very well in that round, and I'm not getting credit for it. Do we want to get in their heads like that? Or do we want them to go on and fight the fight that they've planned on for months? And, they've trained hard, they've got a complete game plan. Why take that away from them? Because some judge who doesn't know what he just saw, apparently. I mean, some fights, there was an earlier fight, I forget the name of it, it's out of my head, but guy had the guy's back for 4.5 minutes of the first round, and the judges gave that round to the other fighter. God, I wish I could know his name. Sorry about that. After that round, what's the guy going to think? He gets up and looks up and sees he lost that round. What's he going to think? What can I do? 4.5 minutes or 5 minutes, I was on the guy's back and almost submitted him. Had all these opportunities, and I lost. What's the point? What is even the point here? I don't even know what I'm doing. So, open scoring is just stupid, and these conversations come up every time. I don't know. Every time we have a fight that could go either way or should have went a certain way, and I've seen a lot of commentary that John Jones should have won that fight. Ray Longo, I've heard, just a lot of people. Have no dog in the hunt. and they still are saying that Reyes won that fight. And but whatever, it is what it is, and I'm not making that argument. I'm just saying the argument of let's change the scoring keeps coming up. But how do we do it? What do we implement that's going to change everything, and not have this? I mean, so humans aren't going to score it anymore because that's your problem. I've heard let's have just fighters, ex-fighters, people who know the fight game, who've been in there with the noise and the crowd and the contract, everything that goes with it. Let's go out there and have those guys judge it. Okay. Well, what if you got a guy who trained in American Top Team his whole career? Now an American Top Team fighter's fighting against somebody from somewhere else. You don't see that he could be biased? Maybe he trained with that guy or lady. Maybe he trained with the trainer of that fighter. What if it's AKA? This Javier Mendez's close friend. You're going to go in there and tell me in a close round he won't give the benefit of the doubt to Javier's fighter? I'm not saying he will, but you can't say he won't either. It's just fair. It's just very fair to pick people who have a head on their shoulders. I have an idea. You can comment on it if you want, but it's just something I thought would be a decent idea. What if you want to be a judge, you are brought in to be qualified? They don't tell you how that's going to happen, but you come in and they make you watch a certain amount of fights. They don't tell you which fights are going to be. You just sit down, you watch fights, and you score them right there. Even fights you may have seen before, but it doesn't matter. And at the end of it, they take all your scores and look at what those scores were and compare them to what the scores were from the people who did judge it, from the experts, from everything from the past. If your ideas on those fights is flawed to a point, that you agree with no one who scored these fights, maybe you shouldn't be a judge. If you agree with the judges more than a certain percentage of the time, you'd make a good judge. But that still doesn't solve the problem, because people can still be biased. They can go to the very next fight they judge, they can see it a way in which no one else sees it. So it's important. I think qualifying judges would be a nice start. Qualifying referees is a good start. Doing referees is a little harder because it's kind of an on-the-job experience. You have to get in there and know when to jump in and separate two fighters. I mean, it's hard to watch it on TV and, I would have separated them there. Well, on the fly, full speed, two guys going at it, it's a little tougher. But the idea is, people saying we got to experiment with this, experiment with that. But experimentation with people's careers and people's lives is not exactly a good idea, in my opinion. So, hope you're liking these videos. Please subscribe. I'm not a big name guy or anything like that, but I think that makes my channel actually better, because every one of the big name people I see seems to be kissing up to somebody with what they're saying. I mean, I can't hardly watch them anymore. They're so opinionated and they know everything, or they're trying to get an interview with this fighter, so they think I want to dog that fighter. I'm not doing that. I'm just telling you what I think from well over 25 years of experience in this sport, and I'm hoping I make you think, hoping you have some fun with it, and I'm trying to get better at it. So hopefully I'll see you on the next video. Thank you.